I know predators, and those are predators.
Acknowledge return command.
What are they saying?
They want me to come with them.
Tell them you're already home.
I am already home, thank you.
Wow, I feel like I just witnessed an all-time classic. But seriously, The Wild Robot should have come with an ugly cry warning. One of the best movies of the year is finally here, and it's just another win for animated films in the 2020s. The Wild Robot is this enchanting story of survival and self-discovery, where a lone robot named Roz wakes up on a remote island and learns to adapt to the wilderness. It's a beautiful blend of technology and nature, exploring what it really means to be alive, connect with others, and find your purpose. Now, if you haven't seen the movie yet, please don't spoil it for yourself. Pause this video, go watch it, then come back and hit play, because we are about to dive deep into that post-credit scene and what it means for the sequel, The Wild Robot Escapes. All right, post-credit scene time. It's a small moment, but one that doesn't undermine the emotional journey of the characters. In fact, it reinforces how two of the most memorable supporting characters still keep some of their sarcastic edges while showing they've grown. Their unity here, compared to their bickering earlier in the film, highlights just how much the Wild Robot's ending changed their lives. So, in the post-credits scene, we see Fink and Paddler. Earlier in the movie, these two were antisocial and aggressive, especially toward each other. But Roz's kindness ended up influencing both of them, helping them become more empathetic and better able to work together. Their former feud is even played for laughs during the climax, where Paddler demands an apology from Fink before helping in the battle to save Roz. In the finale, the animals knock a giant tree into a lake to create a mini tidal wave, putting out the fire set by the robotic hunters after Roz. The post-credit scene shifts focus to Pedro Pascal's Fink and Paddler the Beaver, who are replanting a sapling, an understated but powerful symbol of the renewal theme in the movie. So, what does this scene show? Well, Fink and Paddler are just hanging out together, suggesting they've held onto that bond they forged in the chaos of the film's climax. Even though the scene is short, it actually calls back to two running jokes from earlier in the movie, which gives it a comedic touch that avoids undercutting the more heartfelt emotions of the ending. Remember how Fink says that comedy is basically seeing someone else in pain? Yeah, that bit comes back here when a character gets hit by a rock for a laugh, bringing that joke full circle. It also ties into another gag about characters disliking the snickering squirrel, who's been a bit of a troublemaker throughout the movie. Roz even saves this squirrel during the winter, showing how her kindness impacts everyone, even those who once distrusted her. Now, when it comes to post-credit scenes, we're usually looking for sequel setups, right? But The Wild Robot isn't your typical studio movie, and it's not really interested in teasing a sequel the usual way. This is a fully formed story on its own. Still, that doesn't mean Roz's adventures are over. In fact, if the filmmakers want to stick with the source material, the next logical step would be to adapt The Wild Robot Escapes. I've just speed-read the second book after falling in love with the movie, and honestly, it's somewhat of a departure from the first. It's still fantastic in its own right. I'll keep it spoiler-free for now in case you want to check it out yourself, but here's a quick rundown. In the sequel, Roz is captured and reprogrammed, then sent to work on a farm. There, she befriends the farm animals and the farmers' kids, all while secretly plotting her escape so she can return to her island home and reunite with her son, Brightbill. It's got everything, from wild wolves to tornadoes, so there's plenty of material to make an amazing sequel. But I did notice something while reading that might mean changes for a movie adaptation. For example, some scenes from the second book seem to have already been used in the first movie. Plus, Pedro Pascal's Fink is barely mentioned in the second book. In fact, he's only referenced once at the very end. A crowd of friendly creatures gathered around our robot. There was Brightbill's flock, and the beaver and deer families, and Fink the fox, and Swooper the owl. Fink plays a way bigger role in the movie than he does in either of the books, so if they move forward with a sequel, his character might get an expanded role. But at the end of the day, the decision to make The Wild Robot Escapes into a movie will probably depend on how well the first one performs at the box office. With so many markets still to open, it's gonna be a while before we know for sure. But don't go anywhere, SLUURP heads. As soon as there's any news on the sequel, you'll hear it from us first. If you're new to the channel and you love all things movies, hit that subscribe button for more weekly content. I've been Brit for SLUURP.
The Angry Birds Movie 3 has officially been announced. Fans can look forward to more high-flying action and hilarious antics as our favorite feathered friends return to take on the green pigs once again. A production timeline and release window are still up in the air, and it's not clear where the movie currently stands in the production process.
John Rice has been tapped to direct